Okay, live, awesome. Hi guys, hi, welcome to another episode of Nightly Death, where I go over and try to answer some of your guys' questions about death to help loved ones passing on or to help you with a loved one passing on. I'm not going to answer, what happens after death, because, that's a matter of belief. My beliefs you may not believe, and I'm not going to get into a theological debate online. So, I'm here to answer any question I can that maybe put your heart at rest. So, please submit questions. Sadly, I have not received any yet, but I did find a decent list of questions, so I'm just going to go through those. Okay, we got, if I were to die today, what would I regret not doing? Well, considering that's pretty much how I have to live day to day, I've actually had quite a bit of time to think about this. The thing I would regret the most is to not truly help one soul. And I say truly because I don't want somebody just coming up and saying, "Oh, you've helped me. Yeah. When I was feeling down, you made me feel better, blah, blah, blah." No, I want to truly help one soul. And as much as I would like to be that bringing them to God or saving them in some way like that, in reality, I want to help them, period. Do something good for them. I would regret not being able to have that. Um, what will matter to me most when I am on my deathbed? How can life today align better with that? Honestly, like I said, I've had plenty of time to think about this. The thing that matters the most to me is not so much people's view of me, because I don't care about people and how they view me. What it is I care about being recognized for what I've done. All my woodworking, if you see a sign, go, "Oh, that's cool." I want you to know that, "Oh, that's something Joshua made," or, "Oh, that's something Joshua wrote," or, "That's something he drew." I want to be recognized for what I've done. So, that's probably my answer for that. And how can my life align to better with that is to continually try to improve my writing and write more, so more people will read it or be willing to read it. To improve my drawing, so I can draw better masterpieces to show off, and to improve my woodworking so I can make more and have more to showcase. Because I do have a whole shelf to display. Um, in what ways can it be healthy to contemplate death, and in what ways can it be unhealthy to contemplate death? This is actually, in my view, a very opinionated question because everybody's going to be different. Like to me, I am all ready to go. You could not stop me in a million years. If God were to come and say, "Okay, I need a volunteer to hit the deathbed," I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't have to say two words." So, um, healthy contemplation would be simply making sure everything's in order for your family after your passing. That way, there's no big issues they have to deal with on top of it. And then to make sure you're at peace. If you're a godly person, which I would hope so, then making sure you've come to terms and made your peace with him and told him you understand what's happening and whatnot. Um, you know, just thinking about that, making amends, and just trying to get your situation in order would be the best way to contemplate it. The unhealthy way is to, obviously try to make it happen faster. But no, the unhealthy thing would be to start playing the blame game. Like, I'm going out, so hey, you remember back in '62 when you messed up that relationship to that blonde that I was never gonna see again anyways? Yeah, well, I hate you for that. No, stop. That's unhealthy. Don't play the blame game. Shit's in the past. Leave it be. So, how can I treasure life all the more knowing that I will someday die? And I try to do this, but my friends, so called friends, and so called family pretty much ripped that away from me. Um, what was the question again? Okay, how can I treasure all the? So the way I was treasuring it before was I was trying to make friends with every single person I met. I'm talking they knew me in church for being the guy that would go up to you and force a hug on you and possibly break your back. But then everybody started turning their back to me and showing me true colors. So they ripped that all from me. So I treasure life now by showing my pets that I love them. They're not pets. If you ever hear me talk about them, normally I'll call them my fur babies. But I've got one feathered baby. I've got one fur baby. She's my potato. And I'm trying to get a support dog, a service dog. So, because there's a lot of issues that I need help with. So then that'll be a fur baby. It'll just be a working fur baby. How can I treasure the people in my life? Oh, and of course I treasure my wife. I forgot to throw that one in there. I forget about her all the time. How can I treasure the people in my life more, knowing that they will someday die? Well, simply I make sure I tell them at least, if not show them, I love them. Like my grandma, I don't know anything health wise going on with her, so I can't say she's close, but I know she's older, and me being so far away from her worries me. I can't be there at every beck and call. So it worries me. That's why a while ago, I made her a special sign because she's my sweetheart, and and then to honor my grandpa who's already passed, but still honoring him, I'm gonna make something special for him. So I'm trying to treasure her by showing her that not only do I treasure her, but I'm treasuring her loved ones. So so that way she can go at least knowing, I mean, yeah, not everybody, but at least knowing I loved her truly. Um, what does it mean to leave a legacy? To me, it's not about money. It's not about, 20 different cars, five different houses. No. To me, it's about something to stand for. I have only started to accept that recently. I used to be really freaked out because I was leaving my wife with nothing. I hate kids, so we weren't having kids. And I don't have any family. I don't have any friends. So it's like, well, I'm leaving you with nothing. When I die, where's all my tools going to go? Where's all my guns going to go? What are you going to do? Who's going to take care of you? So I started to get really worried. But then I started thinking about it. It's like, no, that's not my legacy. That's just what I'm worried about. My legacy. I want to leave behind because I don't like kids. It can't be leave behind a kid that's knowing this, but I want to leave behind a thought in people's minds. And I'm trying to do this mainly through my writing and my woodworking. But I want to leave the thought in people's minds that there's nothing in this world that can keep you from doing what you want. I shouldn't even be able to make this video. You shouldn't be able to understand me. But I'm here. I tried over and over and over again, gone through the grueling pain, the torment of defeat. I've gone through it all over and over and over again. And yes, along the way, I quit several times. So I can't even say don't quit. I quit a lot. But that support system I claim you really need, my wife stepped up really good for me. And then she brought me a friend who stepped up really good for me. So that was good. And then, of course, there's my faith in God. He stepped up really good for me. But, I mean, it's it's just hard. I wanna leave behind the thought that there's nothing in this world that can keep you going. If I can do my woodworking when I shouldn't even be able to hold a saw, or shouldn't be allowed to hold a saw, I say, I draw, which my hands have far beyond display that they can't, but somehow I make them. I write, and I have trouble forming complex thoughts, let alone forming them into stories. But I've made several books worth. I do all this stuff, and I'm not supposed to be able to. You take me back to some of my old nurses and doctors, and I think the one time I did it, one of them actually cried because of how far I've gone since my first accident. Since my accident. So that's what I would like to leave behind. That's my legacy. I want to be known for it. For if you are able to go on that next day as if nothing happened, smile in the face of defeat, smile in that devil's face. Hell, I've even thrown stuff at him while yelling at him, calling him names. I don't care. He can kiss my dirty ass. I don't care. If I can leave behind that mindset to somebody who's really suffering, that's the legacy I want to leave. How would I like to be remembered? Well, my wife often tells me this, and I think it's because it's how I really kind of want to be remembered. But yeah, I just told you the legacy I want to be that I want to leave behind, but that's not how I want to be remembered. How I want to be remembered is for the fact that regardless what's going on around us, your mom just died, Corona, your sister was just raped. I know that's a bad one. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to use examples. All these bad things, I will find a way, whether it's good timing or not. Most of the time, not. But I will find a way to make a joke. I will do everything in my power to make you smile. My wife says that's the most generous thing I can do because I'm giving myself up to make you smile. And I'm doing it only for you. I don't make the jokes for me. Yeah, I laugh a lot, but I don't make them for me. And I've actually had to explain that to quite a few people at my church and whatnot. That if I'm not making jokes about you, that's probably when the issues start. If I'm making jokes about you, that means you've been on my mind quite a bit. So that means I love you. But that's how I would like to be remembered, as able to make anybody smile in any situation. Um, would I rather have more people at my wedding or at my funeral, and why? Honestly, I would say funeral. People at the wedding is typically your friends and your family, there to celebrate a joyous occasion in your life. I don't have any friends and family anymore. So to me, there's nobody. Everybody that's there is turning their back on me. So it's no longer a joyous occasion. The only thing about it that's joyous is the fact that my wife loves me. Why would I throw on in there? She loves me loyally, and she's wholeheartedly devoted to me. So that's the joyous part out of it. I don't care about the friends and family part. Well, except for that sweetheart grandma that I was talking about. But at the funeral, yeah, you're dead. But to me, the whole point behind the funeral is, yeah, you wanna mourn their passing, but it's a celebration of the life they led, and it's a memorial to say, oh, I remember they did this, or I remember they did that, or oh, you remember they did this, or they did a ministry over in Kenya or something, something grand. You talk about things they've done in their life, and you celebrate the life they led. They have kids, you celebrate the life that the kids now lead. Like, oh, they really worked hard at giving you that. Did you ever thank them for that? Can you say a prayer for it? Type thing, different things like that. So to me, I would rather have people at my funeral, even if they're just wholeheartedly mourning. To me, it means they actually cared about me. Because as I see it, nobody's gonna show up at mine. I don't think a single soul will. and if they are, it's 100% to support my wife. Um, what would my last meal request be? Well, as much as people often think I ought to go to prison, I'm not in prison, so I don't get a last meal. No, my last meal request would if I was in the hospital and they're like, "You're not gonna survive past this meal," I'm probably gonna go extremely freaking simple, so my stomach's not all while I'm dying. So it'd probably be something like a couple pieces of toast and like some Cheerios or something. I don't know. But if it was just totally random or that day or you got the whole day or something, then I'm a really big fan of a medium rare and marinated steak. I personally created a marinade, and if you let it sit in that marinade for 2 days, it comes out so juicy and tender. Oh, there's a party in my mouth, and you're not invited right now. Um, what am I most proud of? That's a tough one because I'm honestly not proud of myself for anything. I once tried to start a support group for people like me. Not necessarily bad, but for people with extreme traumas. I didn't even require that they have TBIs or ABIs, just trauma. And I I felt so bad about how people didn't take advantage of me giving it out for free. I didn't even require pay or anything. No, I was out there for free, mumbling like I am now. But because nobody used it, I felt hurt and quit. Which, like I said, not supposed to do. If you want to build something reliable, you got to keep consistent. So, so that was bad. So my woodworking, I guess I could say I'm proud of because I did start nowhere, no skill, nothing. Nobody taught me anything. I started back in high school making sets for like the drama club and whatnot. And then I joined the army making homes and offices and chow halls and bathrooms and stuff for other soldiers or whatnot. And then there's my drawing, the fact that I even can draw. And you look at some of my drawing, it's like, holy crap, there's no way I did that. That is way beyond me. But no, everybody says I did. Like, no, you're on crack. That's not me. But there's my drawing, and then there's my writing. My writing wasn't as good when I first started with like my devotionals and stuff. My stories, everybody seems to like. They say they like, anyways. But my devotionals were a lot harsher. They weren't as family friendly because I had a harsher tone back then. But then I found a devotional author, Carrie Green. He does the morning mindset. Please give him a listen, a shout out if you like what he says and how he says it. But I listened to him and pretty much instantly fell in love with him, and then started to realize that just listening to him changed my writing style completely, like 180 type flip type. And now I'm getting positive feedback from everybody who gives it a second. I can read it to the one friend I got from my wife that I was talking about. I can read it to him, and he likes what I wrote. I read it to her, she likes what I wrote, and then I'll send it to Carrie, and because it's because of him that I'm writing it, and he likes what I wrote. So I've tried to apply that same mindset for when I'm writing my stories and whatnot, or even when I'm doing my woodworking or my drawing. I'm trying to apply that mindset, the kind of the clear heart, clear mind, and then I'm trying to apply that to. I made a sign for my wood shop that says, "Please pray before entrance." It's hanging on the outside of it, so I've tried to apply that too. So now I pray every time I'm doing anything. Really, going to the bathroom, pray about it. But Yeah, so those were the questions for today. I don't think anything was really bad, just a lot of, I guess, negative self-talk. Um, yeah, I mean, if I were gonna say out of the ones I went over, the ones that would be most important would be um, probably what are you most proud of, or what are you least proud of? Probably combine them, and then that would be one of your healthy ways on how to contemplate death. Are you at peace for what you did wrong? Is what happened good still happening, or is it done and over with? Why is it done and over with? Or something like that. And then you can even turn those into the what matters to me most when I'm on my deathbed, finding and contemplating your death. That can be most important. Maybe contemplating that death leads you to realize it really was your fault why you and your son no longer talk. And then you realize what matters to you the most while you're on your deathbed is establishing the reconnection there before you pass. Because maybe that son is really torn about it too and just doesn't say anything. So it's just, there's a vast array of things that really um, can be that a lot of these things can be put forth towards. So if you really think stuff like this can help you or help someone please reach out, let me know. jkennedy7689 at gmail.com, and I will answer the best I can. If it's too personal or if you request, I will just answer email. But if you feel that it's not personal, or if you want others to hear it so it could possibly help them, which I would appreciate, then I will do it in a video like this. So, thank you for watching if you stayed and watched. Bye, guys.